Good day, everyone. I am Zindy May Mulquitones, your reporter for the topic entitled DNA profiling. But first of all, let's talk about the DNA. DNA is a molecule that carries genetic instructions for growth, development, and function in living organisms. And that's the reason why we call DNA, or why we call DNA as a blueprint. Because DNA provides detailed instructions for how each part of an organism should grow, function, and be maintained. Just like in a house, without the blueprint, it will not build correctly, right? Just as in human, without the DNA, we couldn't develop or function properly. DNA consists of two twisting strands or a double helix made up of four nucleotide bases: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. So these bases are paired specifically adenine for thymine and cytosine for guanine, which then form the genetic code which will determine what hereditary traits and direct protein synthesis should be made. So for hereditary trait, sample gen is yung with the use of different base sequence. It will determine the traits like the eye color or height of a person. And for protein synthesis naman, there's a specific base sequence that will instruct cells to make proteins like the insulin. So, kumbaga, si DNA talaga yung reason on who we are right now. Kung bakit ganyan yung tsura mo, bakit ganyan yung sa ganun. And that is the reason why we are different from each other. Now let's talk about the DNA profiling. DNA profiling is a forensic technique that identifies individuals by analyzing unique genetic variations called polymorphisms. Though most human DNA is identical, these variations serve as genetic markers inherited from both parents. DNA profiling is widely used in forensics, legal cases, and biological research. So si DNA profiling, ginagamit siya sa mga forensics, sa mga kaso-kaso, sa isang krimen, and even sa mga biological research or yung mga nag-aaral sa mga living things, or living organisms. They use DNA profiling para ma-identify ang isang tao or organism using their DNA pattern. Although in humans, halos identical nga yung DNA patterns natin na mayroon, kaya naman nagkakaroon lang tayo ng pagkakaiba-iba, hindi tayo nagiging magkakamukha, ganun, is all because of the what we call polymorphisms na siyang genetic markers natin na galing sa ating mga magulang. Sample pa dito sample natin dito sa may DNA profiling is yung maaring pagkakaiba-iba natin sa STR or yung short tandem repeat. Na kung saan ito yung parang isang short sequence ng DNA na kung saan paulit-ulit siyang lumilitaw yung AGAT. Tapos, yung bilang ng ulit ng sequence ay nag-iiba-iba bawat tao. Kaya naman, helpful yon para ma-identify natin yung isang tao. On for the applications of DNA profiling. The first one is the forensic investigation or the crime scene analysis. Dito pasok yung sa murderer na maaari nating ma-determine yung suspect or the victim with the use of DNA sample like their hair, blood, semen, saliva, skin cells, and even their bones or teeth. Second is the paternity and family relationship testing. So with the use of DNA profiling, makita natin if magmamatch ba ang DNA ng dalawang related person. Next is the disaster victim identification. There are cases na after disaster, matagal bago makita yung mga dead body, which will lead to unrecognizable features of the person. So with the use of DNA profiling, their DNA sample is their bone can be used to identify the identity of the body. Last is the medical and genetic research. So DNA profiling is used to study genetic diversity in populations. For example, yung mga researcher, maaari nilang i-analyze yung DNA ng iba't ibang species para malaman nila or maintindihan nilang lalo yung evolutionary relationship and genetic variation ng mga species na yun. And here we have the advantages and limitations of DNA profiling. For the advantages, we have highly accurate and reliable in identifying individuals. And, because of what we call the polymorphism, where we have different genetic markers, hindi natin ipagkakamalan na yung body na yon is eto even though they are not. Kasi nga, we have different genetic markers or meron pa rin tayong pagkakaiba-iba na tawag natin polymorphism. Next is yung useful in solving crimes and exonerating innocent suspect. Kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, maaari nating malaman yung suspect or the victims using their DNA patterns or samples. And then last is helps in reuniting families and confirming biological relationship. As I have said again earlier, yung malalaman natin if tugma ba or related ba yung dalawang person with the use of their DNA. Dito nga madalas yung sa may KMJS. Yung nagkakaroon ng palitan ng mga anak and then they use their DNA sample para ma-determine if sila ba talaga yung totoong magulang or hindi. For limitations, first, it requires high-quality DNA samples for accurate analysis. In DNA profiling, the DNA sample should be high quality. It shouldn't be contaminated or mixed with other things or another DNA because it can hinder the analysis. Maaring maging inaccurate yung maging resulta. Second is ethical concerns related to privacy and data security. Unauthorized access or misuse of genetic information can lead to breach of confidentiality and potential discrimination. For the last, we have the potential for misuse if not properly regulated. So without regulations, DNA profiling can be misused, leading to ethical and legal issues.
So, good day everyone. My name is Christian Kane R. Castro and today I will going to discuss the short tandem repeats or the STRS and the DNA profiling. So, it says here that STRs are short sequence of DNA with 2 to 6 base pairs that are repeated multiple times in a row at specific locations in genome. So, yung STRS daw or short tandem repeats it's isa siyang 2 to 6 base pairs na nauulit-ulit multiple times sa isang row at a specific location sa genome. This sequence vary in length between individuals, making them useful for identification. So, ginagamit daw yung STRS sa mga individuals dahil meron itong magkakaibang haba sa mga individuals. So, this is a structure of STRS o ito yung sequence niya sa loob ng genome. Like, it shows here in the image is so, nakikita din daw itong STRS sa non-coding regions of DNA. And like I said kanina, STRS is highly polymorphic, meaning they differ among individuals. So, dito na-identify natin yung pagkakaiba ng isang tao sa DNA structures nila dahil sa STRS. So, So, how STRs are used in DNA profiling? So, merong two ways paano siya ginagamit sa DNA profiling. Number one is sa pamamagitan ng DNA samples. So, kinukulik natin from blood, saliva, and hair. And doon na-identified yung number of repeats at each STR's locus is compared among individuals. So, doon ginagamit yung STRs sa DNA profiling. Kino-compare nila yung iba't ibang ulit-ulit ng STR sa locus sa bawat individual. So, this is the application of DNA profiling. First is the in forensic science identifying criminals and exonerating innocent suspects. So dito, gamit yung DNA profiling is na identify natin gamit yung mga naiiwang bakas nila sa mga weapons like sa mga criminals like this. Then paternity testing. So ginagamit din yung DNA profiling para malaman natin kung sino yung kamag-anak natin, may kadugo natin. Then also the missing person identification, para dito ginagamit yung DNA profiling para malaman natin yung mga halimbawa sa mga mga nawawala nating kamag-anak, may nakitang bangkay sa ilog, ganun yung titignan kung yun yung kamag-anak natin para ma-sure natin kung yun ba yung nawawala nating kamag-anak. So, also sa genetic research din, on studying population genetics and inherited diseases. So, in conclusion, STRs plays a crucial role in a modern DNA profiling. They provide a powerful tool for forensic investigation and genetic identification. Continued advancement in DNA technology will enhance accuracy and applications. So, yun lang. Thank you.
Good day, I am Marilet De Leon and I'm going to discuss how do you create a DNA profile using STR or the short tandem repeats. So first one, get a sample of DNA. So DNA is found in most cells of the body, including white blood cells, semen, hair roots, and body tissues. Traces of DNA can also be detected in body fluid, such as saliva and perspiration, because they also contain epithelial cells. So, forensic scientists and police officers collect samples of DNA from crime scenes. DNA can also be collected directly from a person using a mouth swab, which collects inner cheek cells. So, dito, yung DNA is maaaring makakuha siya sa iba't ibang bahagi ng katawan ng isang tao. So, pwedeng sa dugo, which is ito yung karaniwang ginagamit sa forensic analysis or yung method or techniques to investigate and analyze evidence in legal context. So, next one is sa saliva naman is ginagamit dito yung mouth swab. Then, syempre sa perspiration, which is nagko-contain nga 'to ng epithelial cells, kaya karaniwan itong ginagamit ng mga sa forensic analysis. So if for example na lang sa mga crime scenes, maaaring makakuha ng DNA mula sa dugo. Halimbawa na lang sa naiwan na kutsilyo if may dugo ito. So second one is the extract the DNA. So DNA is contained within the nucleus of cells. Chemicals are added to break open the cells, extract the DNA, and isolate it from other cell components. So DNA extraction naman is ito naman yung process na kung saan in-isolate yung DNA from cells and tissues. So yung mga cells is nabibreak sila using detergent or enzyme like proteins K para ma-dissolve yung mga cell membrane and ma-release yung DNA. So, itong step na ito is tinatawag ding cell lysis or breaking open cells. So, next step naman is yung removing proteins and other contaminants na kung saan salt helps to separate DNA from proteins and protease enzymes may be used to break down proteins. So then yung pangatlo namang step is yung DNA precipitation wherein alcohol is added, making the DNA clump together and become visible. So fourth one naman is the DNA purification wherein the DNA pellet is washed with alcohol to remove impurities. So yung DNA pellet is solid and visible yung mass siya ng DNA na napo-form sa bottom ng tube, which is after napo-form siya after centrifugation or yung spinning at high speed. So it appears white or translucent. So next naman is the number 3 is copy the DNA. So often only small amounts of DNA are available for forensic analysis, so the SCRs at each genetic locus are copied many times using the polymerase chain reaction to get enough DNA to make a profile. So specific primers are used during PCR that attach a fluorescent tag to the copied SDRs. So, dito naman is, di ba nga dahil madalas kakaunting DNA lamang yung nakukuha natin mula sa, ay, nakukuha ng mga pulis, gano'n. So, mula sa crime scene, so kailangan dumaan ito sa process na tinatawag na PCR or yung polymerase chain reaction. So, para mas dumami pa yung sample. So, ginagamit dito yung fluorescent tag primers na tumutulong para ma-analyze yung STR markers. So, yung fluorescent tag primers is short DNA siya, short DNA sequence siya naka-attach sa fluorescent dye. So, dinadetect nito and ina-analyze yung DNA. So, itong primers na ito is nagbabind siya sa specific DNA sequence during amplification. So, naalam nito yung DNA polymerase to extend that strand. So, this process is the way to para ma-analyze yung DNA kahit sobrang liit na ang sample. And so, ito pa pala, dahil may nakakabit na fluorescent dye sa primers, so kapag dumaan ito sa isang specialized machine tulad ng PCR or DNA sequencer, yung nilalabas na ilaw nito is nasusukat siya. So, nalalaman yung DNA. So, tumutulong din ito upang makita kung gaano nga ba yung karami yung DNA sample or may pagbabago nga ba sa genetic sequence ng DNA. So, so the fourth one is determine the size of the STRs. So the size of the STRs at each genetic locus is determined using a genetic analyzer. So the genetic analyzer separates the copied DNA by gel electrophoresis and can detect the fluorescent dye on each STR. This is the same piece of equipment used in the lab for DNA sequencing. So dito naman is ginagamit naman ng genetic analyzer. So gumagamit ng genetic analyzer na kung saan yung SCR sa DNA is sinusuri gamit yung gel electrophoresis. So dito yung DNA is, so yung gel electrophoresis, so dito yung DNA is dumadaan siya sa sa isang gel matrix gamit yung kuryente. So, pwede rin itong i-analyze gamit naman yung capillary electrophoresis, which is dito naman yung mga STR fragments is dumadaan sa isang so manipis na tube or yung capillary. So, wherein yung mga fragments na is nahihiwalay ito based on their size using high voltage electric field. So, yung mas mahabang STR sequence is means na mas maraming tandem repeats sa isang genetic locus. So, yung bilang ng STR is iba-iba. So, sa tao, iba-iba tayo ng bilang ng magkakaiba tayo ng STR, ng iba-iba ng bilang ng STR. So, mas natutukoy yung genetic identity ng isang tao. Halimbawa, di ba sa isang forensic database, kung yung STR pattern mo ng isang DNA sample is kumbaga tumugma siya sa DNA ng isang kriminal, ganun. So, maaaring so yung identity nung so yung identities magsisilbing ay yung DNA na ito is magsisilbing ebidensya laban sa kaso. Okay, so the fifth one is is there a match? So the number of times a nucleotide sequence is written in each STR can be calculated from the size of the STRs. A forensic scientist can use this information to determine if a body fluid sample comes from a particular person. If two DNA profiles from different samples are the same, the chance that the samples came from different people is low. This provides strong evidence that the sample have a common source. So last one naman, this is there a match? So dito matapos makuha yung STR pattern na isang DNA sample, ikukumpara to sa iba pang DNA profiles para malaman kung tutugma ba ito. So, katulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, dahil nga unique ang STR profile ng bawat tao, mas madaling malalaman or matitrace or makikilala ang isang individual. Okay, so napakahalaga ng DNA profiling dahil mas natutukoy nito yung tao gamit ang DNA pattern. Halimbawa na lang nito is yung pagtukoy halimbawa kung sa mga yung nasa forensic analysis, which is yung halimbawa na lang para matukoy kung yung kriminal gano'n is, pero pwede rin naman to para matulungan yung tao or yung basta isang individual na makilala kung sino yung kapamilya nila gano'n. Dahil dito natutulungan tayo dahil may tinatawag tayong DNA pattern, which is nakakatulong talaga. And yun lang po yung aking coverage ng report ay ng discussion ko for today. And that's it. Thank you.